Hello again, I'm Father Chris, and you all know this is Skillet. Just hanging out tonight. It's a rainy day in Bristol, but you know, good things come from the rain too. We had really great weather yesterday. It looks like we got some good weather coming up. Spring is definitely here. I am definitely feeling that with the pollen in the air, but well, that's life. There's good things that come from that too, because a lot of the pollen comes from some really good things. So as I was taking this guy for a walk yesterday morning, I ran into a woman walking her dog on Euclid Avenue, and she stopped to just tell me, I want you to know that I think the garden at the church is beautiful. And I have to agree, yeah, I'm liking the way it's coming in right now. So I'm going to start by saying first, thank you to everyone who came out on a Saturday morning last fall and helped us clean up and plant those bulbs that have now come up into some very beautiful tulips. And some people may be thinking, well, it's kind of a shame now that, you know, we're not gathering for Mass and people aren't coming to the church, and so a lot of people aren't even going to see those tulips. Well, I'm going to close out this video by showing everyone the tulips in the garden in front of the church and how everything is going. So even that's something that we can still share with each other. So, a couple other things that I wanted to talk about and get into this video. I want to talk more about the live streaming. We did our very first live streamed Mass at St. Anne's this past Sunday morning at 9 o'clock, and we had more than a couple dozen people show up live and watch the Mass with us. I thought that was great, but we can do better. I know we kind of threw a lot of things together at the last minute. We didn't get the word out there, but we're gonna do better for this next week, and especially since this is Palm Sunday coming up. My goal is to top 200 viewers watching live as we do the Mass. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna change a few things up. This past weekend, I recorded a Mass, the way I'm recording this right now, on Saturday evening, and I uploaded it to this YouTube channel. Then Sunday morning, we live streamed a Mass, which was saved on the parish's Facebook page. This weekend, I'm not going to pre-record a Mass in this format. This is what we're going to do for Palm Sunday. We're going to live stream a Mass Saturday evening at 5:30. That Mass will not be saved, so it will be live 5:30. You can log on and watch, and after that Mass it will not be saved to Facebook, but the next morning, Palm Sunday morning, 9 a.m., we will live stream another Mass, and that Mass will be saved on the Facebook page, so anyone who is not able to come out and watch the live stream will still be able to see that Mass and to share. But I really want to get as many people as possible on the live stream. I think this is it's a very good thing for us to be able to do as a community, that even if we can't gather together, we can gather at the same time virtually and celebrate this Mass together. So this is what I'm asking people to do. Share this video. Share this video with anyone who you think might want to have this information. Don't just share it, tweet it, and tell people about it. If you know somebody who you think might not know about our live streaming the Masses, but would be interested in knowing and watching, call them, especially people from our St. Anne's community. I'm getting a lot of great feedback from people about these videos and about our live streamed Masses, but I know there are people out there who haven't got the message yet. So if you know someone that you think might not know about this, call them and tell them. If they know someone who might not know about this, call them. Let's get the word out. Wouldn't it be great if we can get the word out so that everyone at St. Anne's knows what we're doing and is able to participate in a live streamed Mass either Saturday evening or Sunday morning? So this is something that we can all do together, that we can all work together to make this happen. Not only are we going to be live streaming Masses for Palm Sunday this weekend, but next week is Holy Week. That means I will be live streaming Mass for Holy Thursday, we'll be live streaming the service for Good Friday, and we'll be live streaming the Easter Vigil and Easter Sunday morning. All of that will be up on the parish Facebook page. So while it is a sad thing that we are not able to gather together to celebrate the Sacred Triduum in person, we will still be able to celebrate these beautiful liturgies in this format here. Something else that I learned today from the diocese, they announced that the diocese is going to do its first ever live streamed mission. So like as we've done a mission at our parish every year, the diocese is going to do a diocesan-wide mission, and it's going to be live streamed for Holy Week. So starting Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday night from 6:30 to 8:30. I know they have 3 priests from the diocese. They've got some guest speakers that are going to be on there, all giving their inspirational messages. I don't have all of the details yet, but as soon as I get the details and how you can participate in this live stream, I will be announcing that. Also, everything that I just said excuse me, about our live streamed masses this weekend, Saturday evening and Sunday, you don't have to take notes. I'm going to put all of that in the comments to this video so that you'll be able to see all of it there. We've had some rough couple days at the parish and the school. We've been making a lot of cuts in our spending, and we've had to cut back on our staffing a little bit, but we are still going strong at the church and the school. Our mission is still there, especially at the school. All of our full-time classroom teachers are still working every day to get lessons out to the kids, to use Google Classroom, and they're continuing to connect with our families at St. Anne's. I even talked to Ms. Schneider today, and I'm going to be jumping in, and I'm going to be doing some live streamed religion classes for the school, which will be popping up on the school's Facebook page. We want to continue doing everything we can to help growth in our St. Anne's community. Final thing I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm just going to give, I wanted to give a simple reflection on the readings for today's Mass. The readings from the first reading and the Gospel go together in a very special way. Now, anyone who has heard my presentation about the Eucharist and the Scriptures has probably already heard the bulk of this message, but I'm going to talk about that now. The first reading comes from the book of Numbers. It talks about when the Israelites were traveling in the desert after God had led them out of their slavery in Egypt, and they were still complaining. They were still grumbling. Why did Moses lead us out into the desert? We have no food, we have no water, we don't want to be here. And they were complaining against Moses. They were complaining against God who led them there, even though he had led them out of slavery. And so God sent seraph serpents into the camp. And these serpents came among the people, and they bit several of the people, and many people died. At this point, the people realized that they had sinned in complaining against God, and they asked Moses to pray to God on their behalf, which Moses, of course, did. God told Moses to make a bronze seraph serpent and to mount it on a pole. And then anyone who looked at that serpent mounted on a pole would be healed. And that's exactly what he did. He made the serpent, which, by the way, the serpent being on the pole resembled the image of a cross, very much foreshadowing what was to come in Christ. Something else that's interesting about this story, though. The serpent mounted on a pole is something that we're all very used to seeing now, because that same image has become the symbol of the medical profession. And it goes all the way back to that story about people who were afflicted with this illness from being bitten by a snake were healed by the serpent mounted on the pole. And that's now the image of our medical profession. So we're reminded that what is now the image of our medical profession reminds us of something that God did to save his people. Makes me think about, just to take a moment and remember the time that I myself spent working in the medical profession and working with fire and EMS, and all that people are doing right now. They are doing things that I never had to experience or never even imagined. The way they are out there working hard, putting their lives on the line, trying to keep our community safe. And I really have to give a shout out to all my friends in fire and EMS and everyone in the medical community in general, and know that we are praying for you, and what you are doing for our communities right now is very appreciated. I'm going to move on to talk about the gospel reading, because as I said, it's connected to the first reading. In the gospel reading, Christ is telling those who don't understand who he is and why he came into the world. He said, "You do not know that I am." And when he says I am, he's making a reference to what God told Moses in the burning bush. By saying I am, he is revealing himself to be the true Word of God. But then he tells the people that when you see the Son of Man lifted up, you will know that I am. First, he's making a reference to the cross, that when he is lifted up on the cross, as the serpent was lifted up in the desert, then we will know that God's salvation and healing have come to the human race. And we continue to see this every time we come together for the celebration of the Mass in the liturgy of the Eucharist. We continue to see the Son of Man lifted up. That's something we can reflect on now, even in our live-streamed Masses. When we're not able to gather in person, we are still seeing the Son of Man lifted up before our community, and we are knowing in that God's salvation and healing have come to the human race. We can reflect on that and understand that as we're seeing the live stream Masses, and we'll appreciate it even more when we're able to gather again and celebrate the liturgy of the Eucharist together. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this information has been helpful. If there's anything else that people are curious about or people would like me to mention in these videos, please reach out to me and let me know. I would be happy to do that. Thank you for your time, and God bless you all.